So Sam, you were saying you're really worrying about this report you have to do at work?
Yeah, just because I have to present it to my whole team. They're all looking at me and I'm stood at the front with this PowerPoint.
Right. So as you imagine that now, being there, what can you see around you? What are you bringing to mind?
So there's it's like a boardroom, so there's kind of a square table and everyone sits around the table, but when you're presenting, so I'm at the front and I'm talking through the report and everyone turns their chairs so they're all facing me.
Right.
And yeah, it just makes me feel it's next week, so it's kind of playing on my mind, like a couple of weeks before I've got to do it. It's all I can think about.
Yeah, I can see you sort of tensing up now, almost as you think about it. Is it bringing up fear now, or?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And how strong is that sense of fear? If say 100 was the most frightening it could be.
It's quite bad. Like maybe 90 or something.
90%.
Yeah.
So as you're imagining that picture of people looking at you and feeling frightened, what's going through your mind? What are you actually thinking?
Just that I'm going to panic. My mind is going to go blank. I'm not going to be able to. So if somebody asked a question, I wouldn't be able to answer it. I'd just completely freeze up or just kind of lose it.
Right. Okay. Is that the worst thing, the idea that someone might ask you something and you wouldn't be able to answer?
I think because I prepare a lot for the meeting and I would rehearse.
Right.
So actually delivering the report, I would rehearse that quite a lot. What really worries me, I think, is that I'm kind of not in control of what other people might ask me.
Because they could ask anything.
Because they could ask anything, and it worries me that I won't know the answer.
Okay. So it sounds like your kind of belief about what might happen is that someone might ask you a question and you wouldn't know the answer, so you'd kind of go blank. Yeah. Okay, and how strongly do you believe that could happen? If 100 was the strongest you could believe?
Oh, like 98%.
Okay, crikey.
Yeah.
So really strong belief. Yeah. And I guess it's no wonder that it's worrying when you're so convinced that that's what's going to happen to you. Okay, and if you did go blank and when someone asked you a question and you didn't know the answer, what do you predict would happen?
I think it would just be awful. There would be this long pause, and everybody would be. I would be embarrassed. Everybody would be embarrassed for me. They wouldn't be able to look at me. My boss would just lose confidence in me. It would be awful.
Yeah, so you're thinking ahead of all these things that could happen. So as well as the belief that you could forget and you not know what to say, there's also the consequences of people looking away, embarrassed pause, and your boss having being angry, or there being a consequence.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So what we know is that beliefs, and it sounds like yours is quite strong, you're quite sure, sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're completely wrong, and sometimes they need a bit of adjusting. And one way of testing our beliefs is through experience, so trying things out to see whether what we think is accurate in the situation, what we think will happen. So I'm wondering if you'd be happy to find a way to test this out, your prediction that you're going to have this reaction and what people will do in that situation. How do you feel about testing that in some way?
That kind of makes me feel quite nervous.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we might need to find a way that you could feel that you could achieve it, that you'd be nervous but it would be doable, because it might be quite scary to think I'm just going to jump in and do that.
Yeah, I think I'd need some help.
Okay, so we could think about that together and work out a way that feels manageable.
Okay.
How would you feel about working that out together?
I guess if you could help me with it,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, I can do that.